How we doing?
Great.
Oh, yeah, me too. Outstanding. Friday, it is Friday. There's nothing like it. Man.
How have you seen kickers adjust a little bit? We're seeing now more of those kind of balls get into the end zone a little bit. Kickers adapting, getting it by guys. It's obviously a huge difference starting at the 20-yard line. Have you noticed that too? Kickers maybe adjust a little bit?
I actually, no, not so much. I think some guys do better than others. I think the teams that can do it and figured out a way to do it are still doing it. Most of the other teams are not so much. I think a lot of the other teams are starting to figure out that placement on that kick is if you can't get the ball on the ground consistently and have it be like an irregular hop and something like that, I think people are finding out that the best thing you can do is place the ball. So.
Have you enjoyed being part of like this new play, like kind of a blank slate, the game of football, and attack it a number of different ways? Have you enjoyed that part of it?
Yeah, it's a great question. Enjoy. Some parts of me absolutely love it and the challenge, and there's other parts of me that's like, man, like it's frustrating, it's hard, it puts a lot of stress on me, being honest with you, because it looks easy to cover those kicks, but the difference in covering it well and covering it poorly is very thin. I'll give you an example. A couple weeks ago, or maybe a week or two ago, I was watching a game, and so Team A kicks off, and they run down the field, and they have two guys hammer the returner at the 25-yard line. Just hammer the guy. The guy breaks the tackle, bounces off it, spins around, rolls out. He goes to the far 30. The special teams coach on the return team, he's all fired up. And he's like, man, we did great, The special teams coach on the kick cover team, he's distraught, right? And the guy who really did a good job of coaching the play was the guy on the kick cover team. He had two free guys at the point of attack, hammering the guy at the 25-yard line, and he's the one distraught. And the guy did a poor job, had two unblocked players, hammering their returner at the 25-yard line, and he's fired up because the ball's on the far 30 right now. It's like just totally backwards. So I would say there's a lot of that to the play. It's like, man, it's really a game of inches. I know some people are saying, well, there's not that many huge returns. There's a lot of fascinating numbers right now. Not that I'm a numbers guy, but there's like just under 800 returns for the season right now. A year ago, the whole season, there's like 900. So we're just 100 under. So after this week, we'll have more returns than a year ago. There's fewer touchdown returns on the kick return side. There's also fewer negative plays, like tackled deep down the field from the kickoff return side. So like both teams have kind of slowly taken some of the extremes out of it, but still there's a lot of stress on the play. I think the big one is like at any given point you could give up a few yards on it. The ball comes out to the 40. Well, if that's the end of the game and there's 20 seconds left on the clock, it's a huge difference in the game. So anyway, you're trying to make sure you do the best you can. I think we continue to evolve and learn. I feel like our guys, the last couple of weeks, we've done a really good job on kick coverage. Not the last game, but I think the 4 games preceding that on kickoff return, we started with the ball outside the 31. I think the last 3, the 34-yard line, which is like real positive. Although we haven't had those huge explosive plays, I think the last 4 weeks minus the last game been pretty good. So yeah, it's interesting. It's fun. It is fun. I mean, the bottom line is it is fun because I was sitting in there. I mean, I've stayed up a lot at nights, woke up in the middle of the night a lot, thinking about the play, come in early a lot, but I think we're starting to slowly get a handle on it.
I know you said you're not a numbers guy, so I'm going to immediately come at you with some numbers. Jack's net punt average is down from the NFL record, which isn't that surprising, but he's had, I think, 14 punts inside the 20 and no touchbacks. Yeah. Like, how rare and difficult is that ability to continuously pin an opponent without letting it go that extra yard and penalize you guys essentially? Yeah,
I think we have 13 inside the 20s, which I think is second best in the league. So yeah, I'm with you. The net's not as high, but obviously that's different. He's been doing a great job punting the ball situationally, which the irony of that would be when I first got here, I said that was the thing. You guys asked me what could he improve on the most, and I said situational punting, and he's really come a long way with that. It's difficult to do. It takes the whole team. Obviously, it starts with the snap. Getting a good snap helps him, be able to put the ball where he wants to. Hogan's done a great job of helping him out. And then having gunners who can run down the field and get down there. Tesla in the Cincinnati game makes a great play and keeps that ball from going in the end zone. A lot of it has to do with where the ball is on the field, the offense moving the ball and putting us in that towards the middle of the field area, at least, minus 40 or forward of that. And that certainly helps a lot. Have a chance to put it down in there. It cuts down your net, but gives you a chance to pin them deep. I think there's a lot to go into it, but certainly Fox done a great job.
They missed the PAT last week. Did you guys, some of that's tough for us to see. How were you guys on the rush? Did you impact that at all?
I don't think we impacted that, but I would say that I thought our rush was very, very good in that game. I think the fourth rep of the game, we had Wheat came kind of darn near scot-free on the thing, and we didn't block it. The kicker did a good job getting lift on the ball and fairly good operation time, but had our best shot of it. I thought that was kind of our best game from a field goal block standpoint. Rushing it's a little thing nobody really sees until you block one, but I thought they played well in that game. I think he just missed the kick. He hit a little bit high on the ball, wrapped around the top of it, and went off to his left, our right.
This might be a better question for Jake, but can you explain the way he's mastered the art of dropping those kickoffs between like the 3-yard line and the end zone in different conditions and different settings? It seems to have been pretty consistent all year long.
Yeah, he's really become much better at it, which was a thing, I've challenged him with and talked to you guys about. So I give him a lot of credit. He puts a lot of time and energy into it. It's not easy, especially when you get outside and you're dealing with different conditions and the wind's blowing left to right and a little bit at you one way and then it's right to left and a little bit with you the other way. And the wind's changing throughout the course of the game. You're still trying to put the ball in the same spot. I do think that, like him and I talk about, this play is you want much more from that position. You want a sniper, a guy who can place the ball exactly where you want it. You don't want a guy spraying it around down there or a drive-by shooter. You know what I mean? You want somebody who can place it right where you want it. Some of it has to do with the way the return team's aligned. Someone has to do with what your coverage scheme is and your plan going into that play. So it's really important. I think like another thing, people always say, Solomon said something about it to me before the meeting here, is like kickoff return yards. Well, kickoff return yards to me don't matter. It's obviously drive start. And the further back you force the returner to start with the ball, since we're in the math, do the math. If he starts at the goal line, we start at the 40, and we both go the same speed, we're going to meet at the 20. So he has a 20-yard return, and we met at the 20-yard line. All right, he starts at the 10, and we start at the 40, and we cut the distance in half. He has a 15-yard return, but they start at the 25. So his return yard's way down. He didn't do as well, but your drive start was 5 yards better. So ultimately, I think the thing that's important at the end of that play is drive start, not return yards. And the guy who can affect that the most is really the kicker. So even if they have a high number of return yards against us, if they start further back, that's obviously better for our football team.
The second return man play in that too, right? He can sort of get a running start to go block someone. From the return side, right? If you get your one returner waiting for it, the second guy can.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's a whole nother element of the play in terms of the kick is not only placement, but the way I worded or phrased it would be if the kicker can affect the returner's feet is really important because I think. Well, as we do the picture in our head, if that returner is rolling into the catch, well, then he's maybe getting a little head start on the coverage unit or waiting for the guy to get caught, and they're stationary. So he's got a running start. So now instead of that ball or us meeting at the 20, we meet at the 22 or the 23. So you're fighting for every inch. Well, if the kicker can affect that guy's feet and he's going backwards catching the ball or he's going sideways catching the ball and we're coming downhill at them, maybe we get them 2 yards further back, so yeah, it's like this fine line. You're fighting for yards here and there in little ways.
You made a late switch in that game. You plugged in Dominic into kickoff return. Doesn't seem to match with kind of the body type you said you're looking for in that position? What went into that decision? Why do you maybe like him there? Is that something we can see more of going forward?
Yeah, good question. It was a point in the game where we had seen a bunch of the other. We had seen Craig return the ball a bunch. We've kind of been wanting to see Lovett back there at some point. We haven't had a lot of opportunities to do it. And at that point in the game, it's like, hey, what the heck, man? If we can break one, put somebody else different back there, see what he can do. And that helps us kind of going forward, too. It's like, do we really want to go into a game and commit to putting him back there deep and playing with him there? So it was a little bit more of trying to get an evaluation on a player in a certain situation in a game. And I thought he did a nice job. I mean, honestly, I thought Craig did a nice job in the game. It wasn't our best game from a return standpoint, but I don't think it was just him. It was a combination of the blockers, and it was a combination of the group that we played against. I thought, both them and us did a good job in coverage going into that game, and it was tough for both sides to return the ball going into that game or coming out of that game.
Thanks, Dave.
That was a lot of math.
Yeah, we don't really like all the school stuff too much.
Good afternoon. All right, so we'll recap KC real briefly, and then because we would like to move forward to Tampa Bay, big one Monday night. But just piggying back, obviously we took a tough loss on the road to Kansas City, good football team. They did a lot of good things in that game, but at the same time, we failed to execute simple things within our defense, especially early on in that game. That's probably one of the more disappointing things leaving that Kansas City game. We always go into games week to week, no matter the opponent, saying, let's make them beat us and let's not go out and beat ourselves, especially when you play a team of that caliber. You can't give them anything, and we did early in the game, and then midpoint of the game, coming out the second half, there was a couple things in the defense that shouldn't have been missed that were missed, and then a lot of missed opportunities within that game from some of our better players. And in those type games, you need those players to make some of those plays that they weren't able to make. But outside of that, just statistically, I thought we did a good job in the run game. We understood in that game that we was going to try to protect some of the guys on the outside and hold some more shell looks and do some different things coverage-wise. So we put the hard hat on the front, and those guys did that for the most part in the game. I think they were 3.9 per carry. And then I say the rest of the game, it felt like we were one off. And what I mean by that is you start to look at the red zone. I believe they were 4-6. We say we want to be 50% or less, so we were one off there. You look at third down, they were 40%. We want to hold teams under 35%. We were one off there. And a lot of those you look at, you make these excuses, a lot of narratives out there, penalties, things like that. What we do is control what we can, and we had multiple opportunities in multiple of those situations to control those outcomes and make a different outcome, and our guys didn't do that. But all this stuff has been addressed, and more importantly, the players have come back in the building very optimistic for this week, looking forward to another great team, another great challenge on a big stage. So I'm looking forward to the way we respond this week.
I wanted to ask you about the art of the sack fumble. Hutch has 3 of them this year. What are the teaching points? How much of a focus is that of him, just in your eyes, swatting at the ball instead of just wrapping the quarterback up?
Yeah, it's not by accident is what I'll say. I mean, obviously everybody sees the big plays with Hutch, but if you really dissect our tape, it's all over the tape now. Guys violently punching at the ball. It was an emphasis. We talked about it back during OTAs. That carried through. The momentum carried through in training camp. I told you guys, you go back to some of these, when I stood before you in training camp, I told you when Spielman stopped me at the tea machine, the coffee machine, and said, that's the most aggressive, violent attacking of the football I've seen in a practice. So this stuff isn't happening by accident. It starts with the players taking ownership in it, understanding how it can change the outcome of the game, understanding with the nature of our offense and how explosive they are. You give our offense the ball on the plus 50, a lot of times that's going to turn into 7 points. So it's become an emphasis, but the players are making it happen, man. They're going out, and now it's turning into a competitive thing where everybody wants to be that guy showing up on the takeaway tape every week. And Hutch had one out. We had opportunity at a big play there. If Jack or Nowalski could have found a way to come up with that one, that would have been our second takeover. That would have been our second takeaway in that game.
Is it just one more little follow-up on that? The one that he had where he's driving the tight end back and then he swats it with his right hand. Does he have a special knack for doing it? Is there something about it just because he's such a great pass rusher?
It's more importantly, not just that. It's just we went in this offseason saying, looking at it, you get a sack by knocking the ball out the quarterback hand as well. But that's a more impactful play. So now, like I said, it's not only Hutch. That's what's kind of in the spotlight. But Hutch will tell you, look at Amik Robertson. He's been doing it for 2 years, violently attacking the ball. Look at Jack. I mean, they just sent out a memo in the tape. I mean, the way that Jack is doing it. And I mean, it's violent, it's aggressive, and it's the way we play. We won't make excuses. And I hope it continues to show up, and I hope it upticks as we progress in the season.
Say about what Jack's doing.
Just the emphasis on punching at the ball. They want to make sure you're punching the ball and not the player, whatever that means.
I know we spoke about Lane McNeil once he got into that practice window, but what's realistic expectations for him in his first game? From who would you like to see out of him in his first game?
Well, the expectation or the standard, because the expectation means nothing to me, but the standard that I expect the Liam to come back and play at is a high one. It's one that he set for himself as a player. It's not one that I'm putting on him or outsiders putting on him. I expect the Liam to come in and show what he's shown the last 2 weeks on the practice field. Like I said, it's like he didn't miss a beat. Now, obviously, you're not taking hardcore doubles and true pounding, and you know that live in game, you may find yourself in an kind of an 8-play sequence there that you can't simulate on the field. So it's all that stuff, getting his legs back up under him. But I mean, I expect this player to play at a high level and, more importantly, help our defense in a tremendous way.
With the injuries you've had in the secondary, you've had to plug some guys in that just got here, guys like Mollett and Trey Flowers. I'm curious, with the safety situation that it is this week with Brian, potentially Kirby being down, do you want to maybe focus more rock on safety just because of the difficulty of communication and some of those things that might be more difficult to plug a guy in off the street?
No, absolutely not. Rock is playing at a good level, in my opinion, outside that corner, and we don't want to mess with that. And then that'll be disrespectful to the other guys that's been working their tails off on this roster. The Thomas Harpers, Lauren Strickland, the Eric Halletts of the world, all these guys that people probably never heard of. I tell these guys, it's time to introduce yourself to not only the Detroit community, but the NFL community. It's a tremendous opportunity for these guys. It's a tremendous opportunity. I mean, this could be your one shot. Like you talk about it all the time, these overnight stories and overnight kind of celebrities. It's not overnight. It's just that was the night that they got introduced to the world. These guys have been working for this moment. They've been waiting on this moment. And again, I just try to remind these guys, it's not pressure, but this could be your one moment that makes or breaks your NFL career, that changes the trajectory of your family. So go make the most of it. Have fun with it. And I mean, I honestly can't wait to watch.
Jared Goff, is performing better against the blitz than any quarterback right now. I mean, how much do you feel like the defense that you guys present, in practice during training camp has kind of helped him evolve against the blitz?
Well, I know it's helped him because not only him, but Johnny Moe tells him, he's like, coming out of training camp with you guys, they feel like they're prepared for anything. And that's a credit to not only myself, but my staff. Like I said, this isn't my defense. This is our defense. It's a lot of hands in the jar on this thing. And we present a lot of different defense week to week. And that takes a staff, not just one person. But JG's awesome, man. When I tell you he's been in my office more than ever, I guess when I was a linebacker coach, I was a nobody because you never came in my office. Now he's in my office every week. But to have a quarterback of his magnitude, one of the best in the NFL, and he's playing like it, just to have the relationship that I do with him is continue to build strongly. He gives me nuggets, things that he sees, because Dan makes sure we do competitive things still within the season, good on good. So he'll come back and be like, Shep, you shouldn't, or if the quarterback sees this, you need to be careful because they'll get to this. Just having a quarterback like that much detail, that much care, to come up with the defensive coordinator every week, just to drop, whether that's 2 minutes or 20 minutes. He's done that with me this whole season, and it's been beneficial. And I think, we're very compatible. We kind of bounce things off each other, and I do the same for them. So it's a great relationship.
Him, I guess, like you've thrown a pressure at him at one point and it worked, and then he processes it and picks it up, and then again finds.
Absolutely, he'll do it in play, not just learning from that play, but he's a guy that processes very fast in play. That's something that I've seen him gradually grow in doing, and that guy's operating at a high level, the highest in the league, in my opinion. I'm very fortunate as a coordinator to have him on the other side of the ball as the quarterback.
Jeff, you did say he was one of the first guys that texted you when you got named DC from the offensive side of the ball. How did that relationship first blossom between you guys? When you were linebackers coach, he was the first-year quarterback here. How did that friendship relationship start?
Oh, just throughout. I think real guys respect other real guys. Like at the end of the day, you watch not what nobody says, but you watch how people work, and you respect it in this game. This is a tough business that we're in. That we've all signed up for and very fortunate to be a part of. But you respect it because you do see people that do it another way, right, wrong, or indifferent. And that's pretty much as far as I take that. Real guys respect real guys. We have mutual respect for each other, and I think we want to see each other benefit and win because both of us will have mutual beneficiaries off of that.
This will be the fourth time we've seen Baker since he got to Tampa, 3 new OCs in that time. Just how have you seen his play and that offense evolve over his 3 years there?
Baker makes that offense go. And it's been that way no matter who the play caller has been over the last couple seasons. Ultimate competitor. This is made like he's everything that we're a part of here. Like Ty Bowles, they run a very similar ship over there down in Tampa. It's the reason they've been winners there since Todd has been there, since Bruce was there, because they run a real program, a real organization. And he's the head of that snake. He does a tremendous job. I mean, he's won them 4 of these games where their record could be 1-4. You know what I mean? And because they have him at quarterback, they're 5-1. So I tip my hat off to him. He's a tough guy. He's a tough guy to deal with because when it seems like it's nothing there, he finds a way to pull his team through. So he makes that thing go. The coordinators are smart because they don't try to change much. They understand what works for him. And they carry it over. There's some nuances that change, motion-wise, schematically, but for the most part, it's Baker's show.
Have you had a conversation with Brian Branch and what's the balance, I guess, of wanting to play with that fire, but maybe going about it differently and handling himself differently?
Yeah, we have conversations all the time. I'm missing my guy. I haven't seen him this week. But no, man, let me tell you, listen, he's pretty much spoken for on the situation, so I'll speak to the person and my relationship with him. I believe it's my job to be a mentor in that department to him because I have been in his shoes. At one point, I was a kind of toeing the line kind of player that played with that type of edge. But I told him, man, you just have to understand, you have 60 minutes to be able to do whatever you want to do to another man and kind of leave it right there. Because outside of the field, the most soft-spoken guy you'll ever meet, the most respectable guy you'll ever meet. But those 30 seconds in that spotlight could change how people view you and how people see you. So just always remember that. In this profession in life, one wrong decision could now peg you as a person that you're nowhere near to being. So I think he understands that more than anybody right now, and he'll learn and grow from that situation.
Just to follow up on that, did you see the turning point tweet? I know some of the social media stuff comes across your plate. Just some of the language they used about Branch and as it related to the suspension.
No, I don't think I've seen that, but I think I back anything our players say. We're one family here, so I'll let his teammates address anything that says social media-wise, and just know I stand with our players and our coaches.
Shep, when you see a little bit of yourself in Brian and you get to teach him these lessons about that, who taught you those lessons when you were that emotional player?
Oh, it's a lengthy amount of people. Like just throughout my career when I got to college, everybody from the Dwayne Bowes, the Ali Highsmiths, throughout my playing career, running into guys like Reggie Wayne and Robert Mathis, just those guys kind of seeing how one thing could kind of tick me off and kind of when I get there, it's hard to pull me back. But them opening my eyes and understanding that for 20 seconds, you having that type of temperament can really change a bigger picture thing for you. So just understanding that, learning and growing.
Glad you guys are doing good, going against top bowls. Kept me up late last night. No, we got our work cut out for us. Todd does a great job. Obviously I worked with him before. And it's a blitz fest. And we got to be ready, and we will. But we're looking forward to this game.
How
Just the variety of blitzes that Shep threw at you all through training camp kind of prepare your guys for the variety of looks you'll see this week?
Yeah, it does. It helps. But, you know, we got a veteran group, and they've seen a lot. Jared's seen a lot. So when you got a veteran group and you've seen a lot of looks, and, you know, we're practicing against it. And actually, we've been pretty good. Jared's been awesome this year. You know, RC recognizing things and protection-wise, he's more involved with all that. So we feel really good where we're at right now as far as the game plan.
John, not only are they a veteran group, but they also seem to come with this, for lack of a better term, chip on their shoulder type passion. I mean, they haven't lost back-to-back games since 22.
Yeah.
What do you see from them this week and just coming off that loss, especially because the offense kind of let them down and they know they can be better?
Yeah, you're exactly right, what you just said. You know, we were the cause of a lot of things that happened in the Kansas City game, and we didn't take advantage of some of those opportunities where normally we do. But listen, these guys don't blink. Every day is the same to them, win or lose, same attitude. That's the way these guys have been brought up, and it's just awesome to see that. Nobody's heads down or anything like that. The way Dan coaches this team, the way we prepare these guys, just like you said, I mean, it's this veteran group. Let's just go. Let's move on. We move on. We make the corrections and we move on, and that's what we've done so far this year. So.
When you say, I was just going to follow. When you say you're the cause of a lot of things, what are you referring to? What plays in particular, or do you kind of want back? Or
no, I mean, you know, obviously the touchdown that was not a touchdown, and that starts there, and then you know, the 4th and 2 call, that was a big miss right there. That could have, you know, we were feeling pretty good right there, so that hurt right there. It wasn't particular just calls. It was we didn't execute, you know. So
the touchdown on the goal line, what would you do different? How would you coach it different?
Well, he's got to be a yard back, so that's the rule. So, you know, Dan's already talked about that, so I'm not talking about that.
Just to go back to golf for a second, how much easier does it make your job to have a quarterback with the temperament that he has?
A lot. I mean, he's the CEO of this place, you know, so when you got a veteran guy like that, I mean, we're always talking. Hey, I want this, I want that, or I like to have this. It's awesome, you know what I mean? And it's when you have that dialogue with the quarterback, it just makes it so much easier, you know, for me and everybody, because everybody sees how much confidence he has to do things, and it's paid off for us. So yeah, it's big time.
John, go ahead. I was just gonna say, does JMO get enough credit for how tough he is? I mean, John, he's not a big guy, you know, but you see what he does in the run game, bouncing off tacklers. He just isn't afraid. How much do you love that about him? Does he get enough credit?
Well, I would think so. I mean, you put our tape on, like I said, you know, all the whiteouts, but he's like a kamikaze man going in there. You know, it's like bam, bam. He just bounces off guys, but receivers his size, they don't go do that. And he's tough, man. I mean, we're not going to draft guys that are not tough. So I love what he's doing. It was good to see what he did last week, man. It was awesome.
John, with Demo, just 4 carries last week, just 2 second-half touches. Obviously, some of that was game flow, game script. But this week, just how committed are you guys to getting him involved and keeping him involved as the game unfolds?
Listen, we always have a plan to try to get guys equal amount of balls. I mean, we didn't have enough plays last week. I mean, we only had like 7 or 8 series. And that's what happens in the game. As the game goes, and just so happens it had to be that way. It's not like we're not going in. You're not getting this, you're not getting that. So every game's different. I've told you guys. So it might be Demo this time, and it might be Gibbs the next time. So there might be somebody else. That's just the way it goes.
Does that change the way you might approach this week's game, though, just to make an effort to keep him engaged, involved, and having the ball in his hands?
I can't give you that answer. like I said, every game changes. As the game goes, it changes. The ebb and flow of the game, or we want this, we want that. It's just the way it goes. You know, our guys are unselfish, and that's the beauty of it. There's not a lot of pressure for that to get that done. So,
Coach Montgomery yesterday said Coach Bowles will show you something for 4 straight weeks. And,
say that again?
Coach Montgomery talking about Todd Bowles yesterday said he'll show you something 4 straight weeks, and you'll be expecting that. That changes it up completely. When a defensive coach can do that, when they can kind of flip their tendencies, their trends at the drop of a hat, how much more difficult does that make your job? Is there something you focus in on core principle wise that helps you maybe plan for the unexpected?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, you got a lot of tape to watch. I always say, if I could start all over being a coach, I'd probably be a defensive coach, so I can just dial up anything I want at any time. Because that's basically what he's doing. Listen, we have to prepare for everything. Protection-wise, that's the biggest thing. So you give them all the looks that you can give, especially the things that they're doing this year. You've already played them 3 times. You go back there and you look at those games. You know, you look at games, other teams that are kind of similar to us, you know, similar to the quarterback, and you kind of look at those. But you look at everything. I mean, listen, Hank does a great job of putting the protection plan together. He's awesome. He's the best I've ever seen. How he breaks it down is pretty cool. And I think he's done a great job. And the quarterback's there. He's on it. You'll have our protection meetings. They're all on it with the backs. It's a cool thing. But, man, it's like, I mean, watch it. It's like 80% blitz. So you just got to go. You know, and sometimes you just got to throw hot. You got to have quick answers. But the biggest thing is, you know, we try to make sure he's protected, man. Because when he's protected, he's deadly. And our guys know, hey, we got to get the ball in their hands. It might, if it's 3rd and long, we might have to throw something quick. You know what I mean? And so we can get the ball and they get the first down because we're pretty good after the catch.
This might maybe tie into exactly that. I mean, the answer might be in his blitzes, but like Amon-Ra has had, I don't know, average 15 targets or something the last 3 meetings. I think he had 18 last year. So why is he such a force against, this team? Why is he
good? He's a pretty good player. He's pretty good.
Is there something about what they do that lends him to be that, targeted to the blitzes, right? Jared getting ball in his hand quick, something else that?
No. I mean, listen, you put a 3rd down plan together. I mean, you got to have a plan for, saying, okay, they might do this, they might do that. Okay, Laporte, those 2 guys have been stepping up big time. Someone else is going to have to step up. And, we'll be ready for that. We're always the contingency plan, or they try to take Sane away. And now you got Laporta, all right? Now J-Mo, now you got Leaf, you got the back, Gibbs, all those guys. Man, that's a lot of weapons. So that's why he pressures to see if he can get home. So we can't protect or we can't get open. So,
if you guys, speaking of Jared, I mean, he's the best performing quarterback against the blitz. I asked Kelvin, Shepp about the idea that he's being conditioned, I guess, in practice, maybe to face that. But I mean, how have you seen him evolve? I guess in that aspect, just being able.
Well, just the community, the RC. If you guys have already seen it this year. If he sees something, we get to our blitz check, and he's listen. He can see everything. Again, he's a veteran guy, and he studies. Man, this guy works his butt off. He's like a coach. And it's really cool when you got a guy that, the trigger, he's like that. He's like a coach. It makes it so much easier. And he's seen a lot of ball. And that's the reason he's so, he's good. He's not only good at the blitz, he's good at everything right now, to me. I mean, who throws an 80% almost every game? That's crazy. So it's a tribute to him.
You said you were up late last night watching that defense. What time did you ultimately turn it off?
I don't know, 1 or something, but yeah. But we're all in here, man. It's just you got to do it. You got to make sure you're right and make sure you're preparing for everything. But a guy like this, these guys that blitz a lot, you want to make sure you're right.
His,
Decker returned to
offensive-
practice this week.
What's that?
Taylor Decker returned to practice this week. We'll see his status, but just what kind of boost can that give you guys? Obviously, guys been in the league 10 years against a team that blitz as much as they do.
Gives me a little boost so I don't have to slide over there a lot. And the quarterback, I mean, just everybody. You know, it's good when you got your starters. It's a good feeling, you know, that you don't have to go over there to that side and help out as much, you know, and get guys out, especially, you know, the backs and stuff, or even just receivers and tight ends where, you know, sometimes they're chipping and they don't get out as fast, you know what I mean? So when you got your tackles, your starting tackles, it makes it a lot easier.
Personnel grouping that this offense has had is the jumbo package. That's not necessarily a goal line or short yardage. You'll throw an extra big man in at tight end in all kinds of situations. Tristan Colon has kind of emerged as that guy in recent weeks. I'm just curious, what do you look for from that sixth offensive lineman? What skill set are you
Well, I think a guy that's kind of done it. So if a guy has done it, then it helps. The unknown is, okay, well, we don't know. Let's try this guy, you know, like Skip has done it. So it's good that they've done it. They feel comfortable with it, being out there, because especially if you go from a center or a guard and now you're out here, because you're basically like a tackle. So I think that's the comfort zone of that player, his ability to be able to do it. I think that's where it goes, you know, where you decide who's out there.